All right. I'm glad you're joining me here. I got something to show you guys. The pencil sharpener debate. I don't care what you use. I don't care what you swear by. I am particularly talking about Prismacolor pencils and which sharpener you use. I'm going to show you why I cannot stand handheld pencil sharpeners and what's in this magic little box. I was sent this little box and I was super excited to do this product review. These have been available for a long time. There's all kinds of them out there, and I'll show you what this is in just a minute. But I want to show you something else. If you're using one of these to sharpen your Prismacolors, knock it off. If you're using one of these to sharpen your Prismacolors, knock it off. If you're using anything along these two lines to sharpen your Prismacolor pencils, stop it. Stop baking them, torching them, burning them, cooking them, zapping them, frying them. Whatever it is you guys do to your poor Prismacolor pencils, knock it off. Don't put them in the oven and bake them on high heat. Don't put them on front of the fireplace. Don't put them in your microwave and catch your microwave on fire. These are all big, huge no-nos. When people say you can warm your pencils up, this doesn't mean cook them or bake them. What this means is bringing your pencils to room temperature. And room temperature being between 65 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So for those of you who are Celsius, you'll have to convert that. But that's room temperature. You don't need to cook your pencils. If your Prismacolor pencils are breaking, there is a couple causes. And your number one is this, right here. You are using a pencil sharpener that is subpar. I don't care what other people tell you. I am not the pencil sharpener guru. But I'm going to show you a couple things about pencil sharpeners that might open your eyes as to why your tips are breaking. But backtrack for just a minute. If you're one of those people that keeps putting your colored pencils in the oven, stop it. Stop it right now. Quit doing that to those poor pencils. You might as well flush your money down the toilet, because all you've done now is made your pencils worse than ever. When you bake them, the inside of that core, the little fancy core, it melts. It melts inside the barrel here. And that pigment and that liquid oozes into the wood. And then you take them out of the oven and they cool. And now it's hardened. It's hardened into the wood. So now when you sharpen them, it keeps breaking and now it's worse. Now it's brittle and it's crumbling. Well, what you've done is you broke down the binding material that holds the core together. Prismacolors are designed with a two-part barrel and an inner core. So underneath this paint is two separate parts of the barrel. It's a top half and a bottom half. And this wonderful pigmented core goes in between them. And then they compress the wood around that soft core. This gives you just enough room for that lead to move around. So once you break that binding material that holds it all together and that holds those pigments together, you might as well just throw those pencils in the garbage, because that's what they are now. They're garbage. Don't do it. I don't care who tells you. If you live in a cold climate, I can understand why you would want to bring those pencils to room temperature. The best way to do that is leave them in a warm room, or simply by putting them in your hand. Just your hand alone, your body is 98.6 degrees. That is enough to warm your pencil. If you got cold hands, use a hot water bottle. You're not cooking them or baking them or blow torching them. You're just warming them. That's it. Warm to the touch. Room temperature. That's all that is meant by that. So by all means, stop blowing up your microwaves. Stop melting your pencils in the ovens. Stop taking blow torches to them, putting them by your fireplace. Oh my gosh, just stop. Okay, now that my rant is over, and I apologize for that, but please stop putting your pencils in the oven. They're not cookies. They're colored pencils. Okay, I want to show you something. I'm going to get a little close. I want you to see this little handheld pencil sharpener. There's millions of them out there. Millions and millions and millions. All different brands, all different styles. There are some really fancy ones out there, some very expensive ones that work really good on graphite pencils or harder core colored pencils. Colored pencils that have a firmer center core. I'm going to show you that's, you put your pencil in, you give it a couple turns. But here's the problem. Here's the top of that. Your pencil lead is not going to poke through there. That is a stop. There is a built-in tip stop in there. So when you put your pencil in there, look really close. Can you see how close it is to the edge? Let me move that around for you. You see how close that is? If I turn my pencil, 1, 2, I'm done. That's it. That's all I get. Now the tip of my pencil has hit the inside metal. If I crank it one more time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap that tip. I'm going to fracture this tip, and if I crank it too far, I'm going to snap it all the way down. You also risk cracking your barrels, your Prismacolor barrels. They snap really easy. So these little handhelds right here, these are best left for eyeliner, school pencils like number 2, or your cheaper pencils. Kids pencils. These are great for because they're harder and it doesn't really matter and they're inexpensive. Your artist grade pencils don't deserve this punishment. So if you don't believe me, get out one of your cheap little pencil sharpeners like this. Grab one of your Prismacolors, stick it in there, give it a couple turns. You'll see what I mean when it stops. It hits the metal on the inside. You can have any fancy pencil sharpener you want. Most of them have a solid front. That means they have a tip stop. That tip hits it, you crank it, you're done. It doesn't matter if you turn the sharpener or turn the pencil. It works the same way. You're still going to hit the inside of that. It's called over sharpening. Big no-no with Prismacolors. These are soft. But some of the problems y'all have with your pencils, I have never had these problems. I have dropped my whole entire case down the stairs, like 26 stairs, and they're fine. They're all fine. I have set them on the floor and stepped on them on accident, and they're fine. They're not broke. So Prismacolor pencils are tougher than you think. Okay, number 2, the Prismacolor sharpener. But Prismacolor made it. Sorry, Prismacolor, I'm calling your bluff. Here goes. Let's take it apart. Look at that. It shows an open end, right? But it doesn't. I'm going to put my pencil in there. Oh, look, I'm already hitting the inside of the metal. Let's try one without a pointed tip. There it is. It's already hitting the inside. Can you see it? See the tip of the pencil there? I'm going to give it 1, 2 and a half cranks and I'm done. It does give a nice point. Oops, sorry, came out of camera there. It does give a nice little short point. If you are aware and you can watch when you sharpen your pencils, soon as that tip hits that end, you need to stop turning. If your tip hits the end, you've over sharpened it. Prismacolor has 2 lengths of tips, short and long. It's up to you to decide what you want. See, if I put that in the other side, look at that. Can you see it? It's in the end. If I crank this pencil, I'm going to snap my tip right off. It's either going to leave the tip in the pencil sharpener, or as soon as I try to use it, it's going to fall out. So this is your guys' battle. It's not about the pencil being bad. Yes, there was a quality control issue for a while when Prismacolor moved manufacturing to Mexico, but that has since been resolved. And even then, during that time, I never had any problems. once in a while I'd go and buy an open stock pencil and some of the paint would be peeling off the outside. But it wasn't even an issue. The pencil still worked just fine. So now that you know what I know about pencil sharpeners and these cheap ones, stop it. Put them in the junk box. Put them with your graphite pencils, your school pencils, the ones the kids use to take little tests with. This is great, but it's not so great. It's great if you can watch how far you're turning that pencil. And again, it doesn't matter if you turn the pencil or turn the sharpener. The effect is the same. It doesn't stress the barrel. The only time you're going to stress the barrel of your pencils is if you are cranking on that pencil to sharpen it. You shouldn't need to do that. If you are really struggling to sharpen your pencil, that pencil sharpener is dull and it's junk. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm going to set those terrible ones to the side. By the way, I use an electrical pencil sharpener. That is my recommendation. I'll show you that in the end. It's a helical style sharpener, which is best for soft core colored pencils. By helical style, I mean it is a helical blade. It has more than one blade. And it actually stops you from over sharpening your pencils. But wait a minute. If you like handheld sharpeners, this is the one you want. Look what's in my magic box. Some of you have this beautiful little sharpener, and there are others out there like it. Check it out. Check it out. It's got 4 little holes. This one's going back in the little box because it's a gift for somebody. But I have one that's open. I just wanted to show you what was in my magic box because I got 2. This right here. This is what's referred to as a Carpenter's pencil sharpener. Because what it does is if you think when you see a carpenter or somebody in construction, they have like a ruler and they're marking their wood and they're drawing a sharp line. They like a long, sharp tip on their pencil to be able to do that really quick. So this pencil sharpener, I'm going to take it out. Has a nice little case to catch your shavings. It's travel worthy. You can see I've already tested it many times on different brands. I put it through the ringer here. There's 4 different size holes. So for multiple different size pencils. Let's take this pink one since it's been broken. And I think it doesn't fit in the first one because it's Prismacolor. So it's going to fit in that second one. Now, remember what I said about that built-in tip stop at the end of all your pencil sharpeners those cheap ones have? Watch this. And you see I'm turning the pencil, not the sharpener. I am not hurting the pencil. You can hear it. Look at that. That is a good sharp sharpener. Sharp sharpener. Ha! When your piece comes off in one piece like that, that's a good sharpener. Watch it. Can you see it? I'll bust that off here in a second. As soon as I get to where I want to be. Let me break that away a little bit so you can see. Sorry. Look. See the tips coming out the end of the sharpener? Now you know what I mean by built-in tip stop. With this sharpener on my left, you will never see your tip poke out the end. It'll bust that tip right off. With this guy, you can sharpen your pencil to the length you desire, as long as you want it, without breaking your tips. This is really long, so it had a messed up end. I'm just gonna go in that little shorter end there and just smooth that end out because I'm picky. Okay, so I made a nice little point on the end of my pencil now. Now you can see what I mean by tip stop. So in and out it comes. And that works on every single size here. Your lead will come out the very end. And if you've used a different sharpener, just so you know, don't get discouraged right away. When you first use this sharpener, you're going to notice the very tip looks a little weird. Just be really careful and just smooth it out on a piece of paper. It's just bypassing what you had previously sharpened the pencil with. So a different style of sharpener. And then as you keep using it, it shouldn't do that. But I just wanted to show you guys this because this is a really cool sharpener. And I know several people out there who have this sharpener, and they're smart. They are smart kiddos. Now, I stopped a little sooner on this one, so I don't have such a long tip. But let me grab something for you and show you real quick. This is the Derwent Chinese white pencil, and I like a really long point. I did that with the final hole here. Look at that. That tip comes right out the end. No breakage, no cracking, no splitting my tips, no damaging the cores. And I got a super long tip. So you can go short or long, and you literally can see how long the tip is. So if you see it just hit the end and you like a short tip, just stop right there. This is a great sharpener, worth the $9. That's what it cost me, or actually on my end, I should say $9. I didn't actually pay for these. They were sent to me. So, but I did look them up on Amazon. They are $9 for two or $9.99 for one. Wait, well, yeah, it was $9.99 for one, not two. Okay, this is the sharpener I use. It's an AF matte electrical sharpener, 6 to 12 millimeter pencils, and it adjusts from a short point to a long point. Again, I like a long point, and this is, sorry, I got a little mess going here. Let me move my my paper towels. This is a helical style sharpener. It's electric, and it stops automatically. This is not a battery one. It's easy to clean. This comes right out. I'm going to make a big mess. Usually I do this over the garbage. But I want to show you the blade inside so you can see. See that? That is a helical style blade. There's more than one. Think your old school pencil sharpeners at school. The hand crank one. They put your pencil in, you crank it by hand. That's a helical style sharpener, and those are great. Those are freaking fabulous pencil sharpeners. If you can get your hands on one of those, it's better than an electric. But they're almost like having a forever blade. That is the best sharpener for your pencils, especially for soft core. This one is a short to medium long point. What that means is it's not a super long point, but you get a point similar, just a little bit longer than this, if that helps. But again, it's a great pencil sharpener. I think in some European countries, there is another brand. It's made by Jarlink, which is an equivalent to this one, and it's just as good. Okay, you guys, I know this was a short video, about 20 minutes. I appreciate you watching and listening to me go on about my rant over why I absolutely cannot stand those. I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. I will never sugarcoat anything with you guys. I will always be upfront, frank, and brutally honest. Sometimes my tactics aren't great, but I believe honesty is best. The Prismacolor pencil sharpener, sorry Prismacolor, it is okay. It is not the best for a handheld, but what you'll want to do if you own this one is just really watch as you're sharpening your pencil. Make sure your tips don't hit the end there. Once your tip hits that end, you've over sharpened, and the risk of breaking your cores in your tips is high. So just be warned, be cautious, watch when you're sharpening your pencils. If you're on a really tight budget and you can't afford to buy a better pencil sharpener, watch for Amazon Warehouse. They have pre-owned and or returned items, sometimes for half the price, and you can get some pretty good deals. These little sharpeners just are not good. They are so bad, and they are so hard on your Prismacolors. There is the T-Gal. A lot of people swear by it, but it has the same problem. That has a built-in tip stop. It is not that great of a pencil sharpener. Yes, it's budget friendly, but only if you can really pay attention to how much you're sharpening. which means you have to open it up to see when your pencil's going to hit the inside of that tip stop. So now that I've taught you guys about the stops inside these pencil sharpeners, be more careful when you sharpen your Prismacolors, and I guarantee you, you will have less problems with tips breaking and barrel splitting. So it doesn't matter if you turn the sharpener or turn the barrel. A good sharpener is always key. All right, ladies and gents, have a fabulous weekend, and I look forward to my next video with you.